What's up, party people, and welcome to another episode of Esports and Content Creators. This week is episode 9. I'm your host, and my name is Chillrogg. If this is your first time here, Esports and Content Creators is a show about the people behind the gaming industry. Each week, we invite an esports professional or creator and ask them what inspired them to get started, where they are in their career now, and their vision for the future of gaming. So this week is a little bit special. I'm joined as always by Sidkitten, but Sidkitten is actually the star of this show. This episode is going to be all about Sidkitten, her past, how she got started in gaming, and Sidkitten, it's really great to have you.
Hey Chillrogg, thanks for having me on. This is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really pumped. So it's a little bit unusual this week because usually the guest is somebody we're curious about and we want to learn more about their background and how they got started, but actually know pretty much everything about how Sidkitten got started because we started Chili Mountain together and we've been like doing this like gaming like journey and growing the esports org together for over a year now. But we're going to delve into it and I'm just going to ask the questions like I don't know and we'll just fire ahead.
Yeah, you can ask me any burning questions you've ever wanted to ask me.
Okay, perfect. That sounds really good. So, I guess like very first off the bat, what was the first video game you ever played? Start at the very beginning.
Wow. So I remember like computers like first came out and were like a big deal when I was like a kid. And we had a gateway computer in the living room that like everybody shared, and it like ran on dial up, and like nobody could use the phone
It was
when
one or the
somebody was
other.
using, yeah, like when somebody was using the internet, like there was no phone line. So if somebody wanted to use, well, if
Wow.
somebody wanted to use like the landline, because cell phones weren't like a thing, um like they could only be one or the other, right? So anyway, I remember I had gotten like the computer came with like a pack of like CDs that they like came with the computer, and some of the CDs were like kids games, so some of them were like learning math, others were like supposed to teach you how to type. So I really started with like those, and then I got into like some Barbie games where she was like a spy, and it's basically like wow, what I attribute to like WoW questing. You
Wow.
would go on missions and like do that, and then there'd be like a cutscene and be like, oh, like now she's like doing this or whatever. Um, so I played that a lot. And then another one that I was like super into was Toontown, which was actually made by Disney. And it was kind of the same concept as World of Warcraft as well, which is like why I think I'm like enjoying World of Warcraft a lot. Um, it's called Toontown, made by Disney. I think they stopped working on it in 2013, but there's a server created by users online that you can
Oh,
actually
cool.
play, and I've been wanting to play, but basically you're like a cartoon and there's these evil like people called like cogs or something like that. But you do like little games within the game, and like I don't know, whatever. So uh, that was subscription based too, like every month. And then I would get bored of it and like cancel the subscription. And then I have to like tell my parents again, like, oh, I actually want to keep playing. Like, can I like resub? And then they'd be like, okay. And then like I cancel it. And it was like this constant like cycle.
That's amazing.
Um,
I
but yeah,
played
so
this.
you played it?
I played this. This is like coming back to me. I'm like,
Yes,
I'm dusting off these memories.
Toontown.
Yeah. It's
I
been
like
so long.
I want to play it. So I think it's Toontown Rewritten is now the like public server or whatever they call it. That it's like a community run server. But yeah, so that was lit. That was such a good game. I think I want to play that again. Um,
Can you stream it? Because if it's an underground server, maybe not. I don't know though.
I don't know. But yeah, so I played a lot of that, and then like those Barbie games. I found it one time actually, like Barbie like PC game or something. Because I wanted to play that too, because I was like, oh my god. Oh, I found it. Secret Agent Barbie.
Nice.
That's what it's called, Secret Agent Barbie. And then like the generic ones that came like with the computer, it was like some rabbit teaching you how to like, I don't know, do math and whatnot.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm looking up Secret Agent Barbie. This slaps. I want to play this.
That sounds
How would I even
amazing.
play this now? Like, it was on a CD-ROM.
Yeah, there might be like some online like recreation of it, or maybe
Man.
the
But
games I
yeah.
played. Like some of them that I played way back, there was one called Power Pete, and that one was like on the old Mac like operating system.
Yeah.
And there's like no possible way to. There is a way to get it, but it's so complicated.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you got to go to like
Yeah.
Windows, Mac to Windows, and then like 1999 to like 2021. It's like too much.
Yeah, you'd have to get, like, an emulator or something.
Yeah, like an emulator for that iOS, then an
And
emulator for that game in
yeah.
that iOS. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's weird.
Well, yeah, I can buy the Secret Agent Barbie for Game Boy Advance. I actually also played on I don't are like on mobile, is that what they're being called now?
Oh, like they remade
Game
it for
Boy?
mobile.
No, so not that game specifically, but I don't even remember what they were called. Yeah, Game Boy Advance. I had one of those and I
Yeah, me
used to
too.
play what's the game? American Idol.
Okay.
It's kind of like you press the keys and then you like hit the note if you press the key
Oh,
at the
I
right
see.
time,
Yeah.
kind of like Guitar Hero type of thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that one was really good too. That's the only game I had
Game Boy
on
Advance.
my Game Boy. Yeah, it was American Idol, and that's where I first heard the song "Like a Virgin" by Madonna, and I thought I was being so bad. I was like, "Oh my god, you could like pick what song you wanted to play," and I was like 10. I don't know. I didn't even know what that meant,
You're
but
really
yeah,
into it. Nice.
yeah. So every time I hear that song, it like brings me back to my childhood.
That's cool. So,
Bet you
oh,
didn't know that.
I didn't know that. That one was new. So, okay, so that's cool. So you had some early video game action, back when you were like a young kid, and it started. And then when did you when did you start getting like more into like modern games, like I guess PC games maybe?
Yeah. So like in high school, my friends would so like somewhere along the way from like being a kid and like playing PC games and like high school, like I kind of drifted away from that. And in high school, my friends had like Call of Duty, but they would play on console. So like I'd go to my friend's house and like the boys would be playing video games and then us girls would just like be watching or whatever, like hanging out, and
Hmm.
we'd all just like hang out. So I like played on console like a few times and it was like Call of Duty. I think it was the zombies one.
Yeah,
Um,
Nazi zombies.
yeah, it's really that one's really good. So I that was like my little like again run-in with video games, but I wasn't like,
Super into it.
inclined to like get back into it. Yeah. And then like, of course like Guitar Hero and like all that stuff that was popular back then. Um, but then back into PC games, it was actually about like 3 years ago when World of Warcraft Classic came out. So I hadn't played World of Warcraft before, and that was my first introduction to the World of Warcraft like franchise was through Classic. It came out 3 years ago. I was traveling for work, and in the evenings I had free time to play. So that's when I started playing.
Hmm. That's so cool. So, World of Warcraft Classic, has it already been 3 years? That went by so fast. Is that
It's
true?
like I don't even think it's three, maybe like 2. It's about to be 3 in November. I think
That's
it came out in, like,
crazy.
October or something.
That went
3
by
years ago in
so
October.
fast. Wow.
So it's
So
like yeah.
that's awesome. WoW Classic is like, how'd you like WoW Classic? So that was your first like delve like into like heavy PC gaming.
Yeah, and I was actually playing on my laptop, which is crazy because, like, I have just, like, a generic laptop that I bought for, like, um, just, like, watching Netflix and, like, Googling clothes and, like, whatever. It's not like a gaming laptop. It's, like, under $1,000. So I was playing World of Warcraft on that laptop, and it surprisingly was okay, but now when I try to play, like, the retail expansion, like, it's just not it can't handle it. But I didn't even have a PC at that time. I just had my laptop that I would game on. Um but it was like a rough experience mostly because of like the game itself. It was like I feel like classic is for like the hardcore players who are like super serious about it. But it was a really good introduction into classic or into the World of Warcraft franchise like in general. But it was like way too grindy. It was like super intense. Like I can't even keep up now with like retail. So like I can't even imagine like what my life would be like if I kept playing classic. But even like with retail, like it's hard to keep up with. But I appreciate retail a lot more because I played classic, but I still have like PTSD from classic where I'm doing like retail stuff and I'm like, wait, don't I have to like click on this or don't I have to like do this and this? And it's just like automatic now or something. But yeah, I'm just like, is that how that still works or did they change it?
That's cool. So, important question: Alliance or Horde?
For the Lions.
Yes, Alliance. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I've been Alliance since I started playing. I do have a couple of Horde tunes that I made, but there's just like not enough time to play, honestly. So I haven't been able to like level them up or like get them anywhere like significant. And whenever I am playing, I'm like, I should be getting better gear for my top level Alliance character or like, whatever, instead of like a level 5 Horde. So I just don't have a lot of time. So whenever I am playing, I try to do like my max level stuff on my Alliance tune right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, do you have like any aspirations to like push it like mythic keys in WoW or like raids or like any of that stuff? Or are you kind of just like chilling, doing some alts? Like, what's your WoW?
Yeah. So right now I'm just chilling. I really want to get a new laptop though because I think that will help me play more because I spend all day sitting at this desk. Like I literally have been sitting here since like 8 in the morning and
Yeah.
like we're speaking and it's like nighttime. It's literally 8 p.m. So it's like 12 hours later and I'm still sitting here. So I sit at my desk all day and I feel like after like a long day of like working, the last thing I want to do is like sit at my desk
Yeah.
longer. It's like I want to go lay on the couch, go lay in bed, whatever. And I take my laptop, I just like can't play World of Warcraft on it because I can kind of do quests, but it'll lag and it's just like super annoying. And I want to do more dungeons because that's kind of like where more of the goods are, but I like my laptop just cannot handle it. So on my list is to get a new laptop. It's actually one of my sub goals on my Twitch. Is or not my sub goal, my donation goal is going towards a new gaming laptop. So that'll help. And once I get that, I think I'll be able to play a lot more and like do more dungeons and things like that. Because even the time I have, it's like not at my desk, but if I can take my computer with me, that would help me play more, which I really like to play. So it's what I would want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's so important to like get out and get like around a little bit. And if you're just like stuck in one room all day, you're just gonna feel like so bad, and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah. And especially with like quarantine and everything, it's like I just like need to like walk around at least or just like, get a breath of fresh air. So yeah, I think that's number one on my to-do list. Once we hit our donation, go get the new laptop and then I'll be able to play more. And eventually, yeah, like do like just complete my like dailies and all that stuff and like get the best gear, do more dungeons. Like my ideal, like a situation would be to be like for someone to ask me like, "Oh, how long have you been playing World of Warcraft?" And I can be like, "Oh, I've been playing it for 14 years. I do like blah blah blah." Like when people say that, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so jealous." Like I want to be like a true like World of Warcraft nerd, but I just like don't know anything right now. Like I've been playing for like 2 years on and off and like there's just so much to learn in the game that like that's really nothing. So,
It's insane. That
yeah.
game is so deep.
Yeah. If there's one game I could like go like super hard into, it would be World of Warcraft, but like I just like can't right now.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So, all right. So, last WoW question. Like, do you see yourself in the future, like, ever going like off the, just like jumping off the cliff and going full neckbeard and like take a take like 2 months for a new expansion and just be like, just like
So
in?
I kind of I was kind of hoping that would happen with the Shadowlands expansion. So like I started with WoW Classic, then I got into retail, and then the whole goal during retail was to get max level so when Shadowlands would come out, I could do that new content. So in I was on a grind leveling up my character to get to max level before Shadowlands came out. And once Shadowlands came out, I think I was honestly burnt out on WoW because it came out and I played it a little bit, but I didn't even like finish my campaign. Like I still haven't even finished the campaign for my Covenant. There's like still a bunch of stuff where I'm like, oh, like what's this? When it's been like months or weeks that um people have like been talking about it and stuff. So I don't know that I could actually go hardcore like every single day, like hours playing WoW. Because like that's just what happened and it was kind of unintentional, but I was trying to be a neckbeard about it and it just like didn't work. I just needed to like do something else, which is kind of why now you'll see on my stream as well. I've been playing like Apex and Valorant and like random other games just because I need to like switch it up from WoW because I like grinded it for so long, like every day, every stream, all the time is all I was playing. So now I'm just like I'm starting to get back into it now again that I
Hmm.
like took a little break. But yeah, it was rough to like just grind it out for like months. And it was a good like 6 months or something like that. That like I was
Wow.
just like trying to level it up.
So you had some burnout.
Yeah, I think I burnt out on WoW and like now I'm like getting back into it.
Okay. So when you burned out on WoW, or actually, let's talk about esports a little bit. Should we talk
Okay.
about? All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you are the vice president of Chili Mountain. So from a casual gamer and a streamer jumping into an esports org, how'd that happen, or like what inspired that?
So I do get this question a lot, so it's a great question. So I used to watch Chillrogg yourself on stream on your channel. And you had your Discord super active. You were a hot streamer and YouTuber. So I followed you in your stream and in your Discord, and then I got involved with the org as far as like being a mod and those type of like assistant roles. And then you took it the direction of wanting to um, build a place for HOTS to come alive again. Since you were so passionate about Heroes of the Storm, you wanted to revive that scene. So you had myself and a couple of others help with organizing tournaments so that we could revive the community a little bit. So I was helping Chili Mountain organize tournaments and reach out to sponsors for the tournaments and like helping admin and organize and like all that stuff. So it's kind of where I got my start with Chili Mountain was like as a mod, helping run tournaments, getting the word out, things like that. And then eventually the organization shifted more towards like this esports org that it is now, starting with Chili Mountain and now in League of Legends.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got my start there. Yeah.
It's so weird to do this interview, and I'm like, tell me your story, which is like 60% my story.
Yeah.
It's like
Tell me
our
about myself.
yeah, like our evolution was like totally together. Like we
Yeah.
built the org
Yeah.
like kind of like together. You're like doing some of the admin stuff and whatever. So
Yeah, and you were like driving the vision.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit weird to do, but whatever. Just
No, but it's a good question because I get it all the time. Like, how did you become VP of Chili Mountain? Like, how does that even happen? Or how did you even get involved with like Heroes of the Storm or things like that? I had never heard of Heroes of the Storm before until I started watching your stream and seeing how passionate you were about it, and like your YouTube and all of that. And like the community you fostered on Chili Mountain, which was like solely dedicated to reviving this scene. So it was pretty cool to see somebody so passionate about a game, and that just wanted to do something good for the community.
oh well, thank you for saying so. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll just like let me just outline like quick 30-second version of like what exactly this hot scene is. So Heroes of the Storm was the number 5 game on Twitch in 2017. It was massive. It was so big. It looked like it was going to go just right into the like stratosphere. And it was competing with League of Legends. League of Legends was one. Dota was like 3, I think, and then HOTS was 5. It was right in there. And then Activision Blizzard pulled the plug on all of Heroes Esports. All the casters are gone, all the staff, all the pro players, everybody is gone. And the community was horrified and everything collapsed. And what Chili Mountain was dedicated to doing was kind of doing anything we could to revitalize this. And that was kind of like what I was doing at the time. It wasn't really an org yet. It was kind of like people just kind of coming together and being like, hey, let's like do something about it. We'll put on some events, we'll try and raise a little bit of money. It was like, I think we had like a $60 tournament our first event. It was not massive stuff. And then it just kind of like grew from there, and Sidkitten jumped in and helped. And yeah, that's kind of what happened. We were putting together these little tournaments, and then kind of what was your next step in Chili Mountain for taking it to the next level?
So right now we have a lot in the works. We're doing a lot, and we have a lot up in our backlog as well. One of our big initiatives for this year is to make sure that there is representation within our org in all aspects that includes. There is a massive underrepresentation of female gender in esports, as well as different types of like race, ethnicity, sexuality, whatever. Um, so for Chili Mountain this year, we've made it one of our goals for our organization to also reflect that of our community, which is a very diverse community. And um, I've taken that like leadership position within the org to help spearhead that. So we are early in the year still, but we have a lot of upcoming initiatives to address that. Keeping a lot of it under wraps because they're really exciting things that we're planning, but it's definitely something that's on our mind and something that I'm personally working on um, as my initiative with Chili Mountain.
Okay, so you heard it here first. Stay tuned for something exciting coming up. So, with that said, you are a very big presence on social media, super massive. What sorts of things do you get into besides esports on other social media platforms? So, in addition to all the esports things you do, you also stream on Twitch. What inspired you to get started on Twitch?
So, my first exposure to Twitch was actually watching your stream. So it seemed like you were having a really good time. You had a really good community. You're having fun, and everybody was great. So I was like, maybe I should try that as well, and see what happens. And that's kind of what I did, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been streaming. I just had my first year anniversary on Twitch. So that was like a crazy milestone. I just felt like I can't believe it's been 1 year already. Like that's wild. And I've had people who like have been resubbing and it's like their 11th month sub. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe like I've known you guys for like a year already. So I don't know, it's been really fun. It's been a cool experience. I really enjoy it. It's been great. So I look forward to every stream I have.
Oh, that's cool. What's your favorite game to stream? Is it WoW?
Yeah, it's WoW because it's the game I enjoy playing. So if I enjoy playing it, then I'll have more fun streaming it.
Do you feel like your viewership changes if you do? 'Cause you mentioned you played WoW, Apex, and Valorant. Do you feel like the community changes, or it's always kind of the same crowd?
Um, I call myself a variety streamer, and content creator. I'm not really like a WoW streamer, although that is the main game I stream. I also do IRL streams and like you mentioned, Apex, Valorant, like Fall Guys, Among Us, like randoms. But so thankfully I've had a community that comes to my stream to hang out with me and that rather than because of the game that I'm playing. So they've been super supportive and which I'm like really appreciative of because then I can play whatever game I'm having the most fun with. And I think at the end of the day, that's what my audience wants for me. So it's been really good. They've been supportive in that end. So I might see my numbers slight difference when I play one game versus the other, but honestly, I don't really attribute that to the game I'm playing because every single time it's kind of different. It could just be like the day of the week, the time, some other streamer who just got on and, people leave or come and whatever. So, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, in addition to Twitch, you're really big on a few social media platforms. Make content on Instagram. Your Instagram is very big. It's over 15,000 followers now. Twitter, um, Snapchat, to name a few. What got you into making content on these other platforms?
I kind of just started it as like a dare. I didn't really use these platforms very much. I'm kind of just like not a person who like takes a bunch of selfies, if that's like hard to believe based on my Instagram, but I'm really not. Like I have photo shoot days and like scheduled things out and whatnot. So um it was kind of once I, like, started streaming, I was like, "Okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right." I don't want to, like, halfway do something.
Mm.
So, I just, like, looked up a lot of, like, various methods to, like, help get discovery on Twitch, and one of those was social media, just like any, like, normal marketing, strategy. So, it was really to drive my, Twitch content, and it just happened to, like, flourish based on, a couple of strategies and it just went from there. So I've been lucky that the my audience has been receptive to what I put out. But yeah, it's really great.
So you grew. So a lot of people say, it's 2021. Twitch was started in 2013 or something like that, and it's so hard to grow these days, and you can't grow, and blah blah blah. But you've managed to grow in some people would say a very difficult time. What advice would you give to new streamers in 2021? People who are aspiring to get where you are and who feel like it's really tough.
I think at this point, everybody knows that Twitch isn't a discovery platform. You go there and you watch people you already know or are aware of. So you just have to go outside of the platform to get people to come watch you on Twitch. So by any means necessary, if you don't like Twitter, like tough, like tweet, like if you're like if you care about it, if you're trying to grow, if that's like your thing, but you're just limiting yourself if you like don't post on Facebook. Like why would you not post on Facebook? Like just do it. So it's like it's kind of up to you and like that's I just got my feelers out everywhere. It's not easy, it's hard and I know that, but it's like the path you're like choosing to take. So yeah, I think that's just like the advice I'd like give.
Is there is there one platform in particular you think, oh, this one's great, or you think they should be posting on a whole bunch, or what do you think?
I think they should post on every single platform. Um, First, because every person has a platform that they will do best on. So it might be Instagram, might be Twitter. Like you're great at sending like funny tweets, or you've got really great memes that you like create and people respond to it on Twitter. Or it could be like people just really like my pictures that I post on Instagram. So that has flourished. Or like the Facebook community, you've been able to like target them. So I'd say use every single like social media because then you can see like where you're like better at and then you can like target that one because on my Twitter even sometimes it's organic thoughts, other times it's just spillover from my Instagram but it's like still active. So I wouldn't say it's like my strong suit just because of that, but like it's still a place for you to like garner an audience. So maybe once you have that insight you can select which one you want to target more, but it's never bad to like pump out content on everything.
Yeah, that sounds like some really good advice. I feel like a lot of people could benefit from doing that. So, in addition to doing all this esports stuff, all this social media content creation, you actually have a full time job. Could you tell us about it a little bit?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm the VP of Chili Mountain, which is in itself a full-time job.
Yeah.
Chili Mountain requires a lot of work for the direction we're trying to take it. So always plugged into Chili Mountain. I'm also a creator as Sidkitten, on all my social media, Twitch, all of that good stuff. Um, and I have a full-time job. So everyone's always like not wanting to take up any position that'll help them like grow and learn and further the org because they want to get paid, and it's like we're not getting paid. No one's getting paid here. Like it's just a lot of work that no one's getting paid for, and that's like the frustrating part because like you mentioned, aside from those things, I do have a full-time job, and it's like takes up a lot of time, the majority of my time. Um but for that, I do technology consulting at one of the big four firms. So I focus on big data and analytics within our firm for retail clients. So that might mean something for some people if they understand it. But basically, whenever an organization is trying to update their technology or do like a digital transformation, then my company comes in and helps them do that because the original company either does not have the amount of people to do it or they don't have the knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people might not follow that, but it sounds like something that is time consuming.
Yeah, I mean it's a full-time job. I work extended hours, sometimes on the weekends. Currently, I'm working West Coast hours, so that's intense since I'm based on the East Coast. So on top of that, I'm scheduling things for Sidkitten, for Chili Mountain, reaching out to people, like everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
very busy.
Yeah, that sounds really tough. Like, is it? It sounds like an exercise in time management. This seems like there's a lot of things going on. You have to be very efficient to get it all done. Maybe is that
Yeah.
is that the case?
Absolutely. It's definitely a very I'm like a type A person where I need like a list and I'm like very like check this off the list, next thing done, like plan things out ahead of time. Like it's really like the only way um to like get everything done, and I have like a suspicion that a lot of the much larger creators, I'm thinking people like Amaranth have this type of mentality where they're just like grinding and have like a scheduler and like that type of thing. Um to like cross things off their list and get things done and all that, because otherwise like you really can't. You need to have like a schedule to like keep it all going. um Especially managing multiple accounts like Sid Kitten and Chili Mountain.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there? So you're grinding all these different. Um, you're grinding your full time job. You're grinding Chili Mountain. You're grinding your content creation. Is there like a goal for you to go full time with any of this? To go full time esports? To go full time content creation? Both?
So yeah, I'd like to go full time with content creation, and Chili Mountain is just like not quite there yet, either one of them, but I think they have really great potential to do so. So we're just gonna keep grinding and work towards that.
Awesome. Well, you said you are a prolific Valorant player and Apex player. What's your favorite Valorant character?
So I main Sova. His like abilities are like shooting an arrow and it like shows you the location of the enemy. He also has like a drone that you can fly around and shows you where the enemy is, and then his like ultimate is like a blast through walls. So he's the one I've been playing since beta. I've tried other characters, but he's really the one that has stood out the most to me. I tried Phoenix, but one of his like primary abilities are like these flashes that like I end up flashing myself, so I can't like really use those. And the other ones don't really like appeal to me all that much. So I've been sticking with Soba. Um, I really need to look up like YouTube videos of where like the best place to put his arrows are, because I just kind of shoot them around and like hope for the best. But I know there's like the best places to put them. It's just like a lot to remember because it's like a map has like three sites, and then there's like perfect multiple places in each site to put the arrow, and then there's like multiple maps, and it's just like, all right, I don't have time for this. So
Yeah.
just shoot the arrow. So he's been the one I've been enjoying playing the most just because I like having that information, especially since I don't play with comms, because that's rough. But, that at least helps me. I know my teammates might not enjoy that, but, that's what I've been playing, and then in Apex, that's actually the game I started streaming with, was Apex Legends when I first ever started streaming, and I've been maining Bangalore ever since I got Apex, and, she, like, throws out some smokes so nobody can see you or your team, and she also, like, runs faster whenever she gets shot, which was happening a lot when I started playing Apex, so that was very helpful. And then her ultimate is like Rolling Thunder, which is just like rains bullets, which is pretty awesome. So I like her. I like her abilities a lot. They've been super fun. And I kind of play aggressive when I'm playing like shooters. So she's been a really good match for me. And I think it's been really fun playing Apex and as Bangalore.
Hmm. That's super awesome. So if you had to choose between them, are they like competing for second place? Like after WoW?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard because Apex has its moments and Valorant has its moments. I think actually Valorant would be number 2. It's just that Apex has like a special place in my heart since that's the game I started like streaming with again. Like I started playing World of Warcraft again, but then I didn't start. But when I started streaming Apex because at the time that was the hot game. Um, so I think it just holds a special place in my heart. But it really kills me to be running for 15 minutes and then just like instantly die after like not seeing a squad for 20 minutes.
It's so frustrating.
And yeah, so and then like dying and waiting for like your teammate to like revive you and it's like a whole thing. So I really like the quick nature aspect of Valorant where it's like over if you die, you'll be rezzed in a minute in the next round, like no big deal. Um, but it can also get very like kind of like toxic in the sense of like you just like keep spamming games. Like it's like 13 rounds, which is pretty
That's
long.
a lot.
It's a lot. Like after like, I don't know, halfway, you're like, all right, like that's enough. Um, so then, like, playing just games after, like, back after back after that is just, like, a lot. So I can't really, like, play it for hours like I can with World of Warcraft. Like, I can just sit there and literally, like, play it all day, and it's fine because there's so much to do, and it's, like, relaxing, and I love just sitting there and, like, questing, and you're just, like, chilling, and it's, like, fine. But with Valorant, I, like, can't do that, but it would definitely be 2nd place.
Hmm. That's true. There's just like something about PvP games, like you're like up in there, your adrenaline's going, you're like clicking really fast. It's like kind of
Yeah.
tiring after like 3 hours or four. It's like, all right,
Yeah, exactly,
like a
and then
sport
also
almost.
and I would play Apex more, but knowing the map, I guess, like, with any game, is, like, super advantageous. So, they just get new maps, what seems like all the time now, and they just got a new map, and, like, I don't know the map, and then they do, like, rotations of maps, and it's like, "Alright, I have to wait, like, an hour for, like, World's Edge to come back or something," and I'm just like, "Oh." So, yeah.
Oh, wait, there's a new Apex map?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
I
even know what it's
totally
called,
missed
but it's a
that.
new one. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's cool, but it's just like I just don't know the maps. It's just like annoying having to be like, "Oh, I don't know where to run," or like whatever.
Where the guns
Yeah.
are, like where the good corners are.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like that's another like nuisance.
Do you do you see yourself going to any other games in the near future? So you play an MMO and then two shooters. So like kind of very different. Is there any other kind of like genre you're like maybe this, maybe that, or tinkering with?
I like RPGs as well. I just like haven't really found one that I like enough to play on stream. I try playing them off stream usually. So I do play some games off stream, like RPGs, but I'm kind of waiting for like the next big game to come out. And like one of these like big box office games, not like Fall Guys or Among Us or like those type of things, but like the
Yeah.
next Valorant, the next like big thing. I thought that one game where 100 Thieves had their skin was gonna be in it,
Oh,
Hyperfuse or something like that, one of those games.
I totally missed
Um,
that.
but it
Like,
didn't really like pop off. So
oh, it like
yeah,
died off quick. I totally even missed what that even is.
Hyperscape, I think it's called.
Hyperscape. Oh, that's
I think
cool.
I thought that was gonna be, like, a big thing. It's like another shooter, but, like, it really wasn't. Like, Valorant's just, like, at the top right now, which is, like, good, but I don't know.
Oh,
I'm still waiting to see, like, if another game, like, catches my interest, but right now, um, I still wanna play, like, Call of Duty Warfare. I didn't have enough space on my computer at the time to get it, so I couldn't get it, so maybe Call of Duty Warfare, but it's, like, just another shooter type of thing, you know?
yeah.
Um
Different flavor of like the same thing, kind of.
Yeah, so maybe more RPG games, honestly, because I was playing Resident Evil, the remastered one, and that was fun for a little bit, but I think I wanna try Assassin's Creed, the one where they're, like, in Egypt or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Origins, maybe? I don't know what it's called. One of those.
Oh,
Those looked cool, but it's also this, like, thing where if I'm playing any other game, I'm like, "I should be playing WoW right now." Like, I have a
yeah.
problem. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna sit there and play for 4 hours or, like, 2 hours, whatever it is, it's like, those are 2 hours I could have been putting into WoW
Yeah.
instead of just, like, a random game, you know? So it's kind of a struggle until I get to where I wanna be in WoW, and I don't think that'll be for a while anyway, but yeah.
That's
So
how they
anytime
get
I'm
you.
playing Yeah, anytime I'm playing, I'm like, "I could be playing WoW right now."
That's totally when I was like really into WoW, it was like the guilt. You're just like, I need to be getting my
Yes,
dailies. Like, what am I my
exactly.
team's gonna look at me and be like, you're not pulling your weight. What are you doing to us?
Yeah, and then I haven't logged in for a couple of days, I'm like, "Dang, I haven't logged in," but I don't wanna log in because then they're like, people are gonna, like, be like, "Oh, you haven't logged in," so, like, now I can't log in, you know what I mean?
It's like a circle of
So,
doom.
it's like a circle, yeah, and I'm just like, "Ugh," but yeah, so that's where I'm at.
That's cool.
A toxic relationship with World of Warcraft.
Yeah, like everybody. That's fine.
Yeah.
So maybe like the next big game. So what I'm thinking might be, and it's far off still, could be the Riot MMO. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so like Riot's version of World of Warcraft, but it's just like hard for me to picture. And I didn't get the details of it yet, like whether it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like in the League of Legends universe, not the Valorant universe. I think.
Oh.
I have zero idea if that's the truth, but that could be cool. Could you see that as ever taking the place of World of Warcraft or nah?
MMO. Yeah. Maybe not taking the place of it, but I could see myself trying it out.
Hmm.
I'm also, like, discouraged when games, like, make me pay for them.
Yeah,
So, if it's, like, obviously not World of Warcraft, but if it's, like, a new game that I'm not sure about, I'm like, "Oh, I have to buy it." So, I'm just like, "Mm." So, I rather than be free like Apex and Valorant. Um, but yeah, why not? I might be interested in trying it.
that makes sense. It's like an MMO, so it's hard to like dabble.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a commitment. That's why I was like, "Hmm." Yeah.
Whenever I see that, whenever I see like, oh, it's an MMO, I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like, I'm
And
gonna.
actually, I probably wouldn't if I'm being honest now because Genshin Impact came out and those characters are so cute that I was like, "I can't play this because just looking at it, they're so cute, and I know I'm gonna wanna, like, grind and whatever, and, like, I can't, like, 'cause like, it's basically World of Warcraft, and I should be playing World of Warcraft anyway, so I didn't even, like, get it or whatever because I was like, "I'm gonna like that," you know?
Yeah, it's dangerous. It.
Spoken like a true addict.
Yeah, the MMO thing. It's not like a shooter where it's like you get on, you play 2 games, you're like, okay, I play 2 games. It's like 30 hours a week or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it could
Yeah.
be.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "I need to log on, I haven't logged on today."
Yeah, that's how it goes. So, who are the 3 people who have been the most influential to you up to this point?
Oof, that's a hard one. But 2 people come to the top of my head just now. As far as, like, content creation and streaming, I would hands down have to say it's Amaranth. I'm just, like, such an Amaranth fangirl, like, to begin with, but if you, like, really know, like, behind the scenes, everything that she's doing, it's, like, pretty intense, and she gives you, like, an insight into, like, how busy she is like as a content creator. And like unfortunately, being a woman in the industry, you get a lot of backlash and people don't really like understand. But yeah, I find her just like so inspiring. I actually found her through a Devin Nash like podcast, and they're going through like all her like businesses and like her analytics and whatnot. And I was like, wow, she is putting in work. I know she had issues as well as like managing the workload. And recently she's like taken steps to like address that. But like, I mean, I can relate. Like I was just saying earlier, like I just work all the time, every day, like all day, like it sucks. But we're trying to like make something here, so it's going to suck. So it's just like really impressive that there's just like more behind the pictures and like whatever, she's like a businesswoman and it's like super impressive. So she's like somebody that I have I hold in high regard, just because of that, so she's the first one that comes to mind. And then also Jules Scott, the commissioner of CCL. I became aware of her within the last year. Within the last couple of years, actually, I had began listening to her podcast, which were super super great and kind of my introduction into podcasting as well. And then she was announced as the commissioner for Heroes of Storm CCL, and being involved in that whole setup thing. So even just talking to her was a great honor. And it's just now that we work closely with her as being like the organization leaders for Chili Mountain, it's just like really cool to see like behind the scenes how the league works, but how she's like trying to keep it all together and does a very good job at it. But just like how strong and like all the work that she puts into it and things like that, I like can see myself like in that reflected a little bit. So it's just like hard, it's just like good to see women like in the industry like working hard and like also just trying to get it done. So those two are like the first that come to the top of my head. um, I can't really like think of a third one, but when I like think about myself in the future, like those people come up. Like I think like Amaranth, like big content creator, like businesswoman, Jules Scott, Heroes of the Storm, like league commissioner, like that's amazing, So they've taken so many steps to get to where they are, and it's just like awesome to be in their communities. So those two I would say are the two people who've been most influential and like kind of I keep in mind.
Wow. That's such a good answer. And I feel like, especially Amaranth, like, I feel like so many people just like see your content and kind of just like they get a different idea of what's actually happening. And like looking at the business behind it, that's cool.
Yeah, and like I feel like people don't know that either. Like even for myself, like when I put out an Instagram picture, they just think like, "Oh, snap a picture, like post it on Instagram." And there's just like so much more that goes into it that like people just don't realize. So it's like a lot of work. Like it's a business, it's a brand, and it takes a lot of work. And she, aside from like just doing Twitch streams, like she does content creation for a variety of platforms. So that's really time consuming and really like admirable, like it might not be the content for you, but like she's a businesswoman and like lives off of this, which is pretty impressive. Like anybody who can live off of content creation, like is just like really impressive to me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, okay, I have a question here. It's a deeper question. Here we go. We're plunging. What is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Hmm. The f the top one, I would say that just, like, comes to the top of my head, just because we didn't, like, pre-script the interview or anything,
Hmm,
is not being consistent with my streams 100%. Like, I think I'm pretty good,
me too.
but life thank you. But life just gets in the way. Like I said, I have a full-time job, so that's, like, what's paying the bills and all that stuff, so that comes first, and I have to, like, work long nights and sometimes early in the morning and weekends, so that really, like, scuffs my schedule. And I'm, like, a type A person to where if I have, like, an appointment at 1 o'clock, I'm there at, like, 12. 45 or like
Yeah.
I hate being late to the movies, like I hate being late to dinner, like I hate all that stuff. So like when I like don't make a stream or like miss one, like I really like hate it. And I wouldn't really say it's like a failure, but it's like one of the like points I came to my mind of like where there still needs to be like improvements. But like I said, it's also just like life happens. And at this moment, like I can't avoid it because of work, and that's like what's keeping like the bills paid. But I think it's also very important and something that I like acknowledge that like also my community brings to my attention, like, hey, you haven't streamed this week or whatever. Because I know it's important for the community and it's important for me, to be there. Although I'm active on all my social media every single day, so you can find me on there. But just being that like virtual live session is just like so much different. Interacting live with your community is always so much fun. So that's the only thing I would say right now that is maybe holding me back a little bit, because it's important to be consistent if you want to grow in your Twitch stream. And I will tell that to anybody like who's trying to grow and like be a streamer, is like set your schedule and like stick to it. And like it's kind of like do as I say and not as I do, because like life just gets in the way, but as close as you can to being consistent, I think.
Yeah. Me too. So don't worry too much about that one. So I have another one here for you. What's one thing you wish you had known at the very beginning of your career? You could go back in time, tell yourself.
I wish I would have started TikTok a year ago.
Me too.
Biggest regret. I went like hardcore on it for like a good like couple of days, and like that is a lot for TikTok. Or like I'm just like the type where if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it like full throttle, and I just don't have the time to do it, or I'm not like prioritizing it, like blah blah blah. But I wish I would have started it a year ago, so it would have been like one of my top like priority items and would have bared the fruit of my labor now, which is
Yeah.
like how I'm like benefiting from Instagram now. Like I started that a year ago and just like grinded it and still grinding it, and like, enjoying what work put into that now. And I think the TikTok train is definitely something everybody should jump on. And I'm just like, man, if we would have jumped on that like a year ago, like
Uh,
because it was so fresh and new. So I'm also waiting for like the next big app. I know like Clubhouse is out there. I'm still like iffy about, but I'm waiting for like the next big app to also come out and be like, all right, this is the next one, so I can like jump on it and like do that. Yeah, because I don't know. TikTok's like maybe that's my failure, not jumping on TikTok a
Me
year
too.
ago.
Uh,
Yeah, but that's one that I think would have been big, because like I said, just being on every single platform, like you should do it, because like why not?
that one hits me hard because we've been on TikTok like long enough to know now that we really messed up by not getting on there earlier.
Yeah.
Like I've been on TikTok for like 30 days and I got 14,000 followers, and I'm just now understanding that like it's like not how it was a year ago. Like I think if we would have done this a year ago, you could get like 500K like like it's nothing on that platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just expanding your reach is so important, because I mean, depending on your goals, but you're trying to drive people to your Twitch stream through other platforms, like that's one way to do it. And people from TikTok transfer easily to other platforms as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a regret. So next time there's a big platform announced, we're jumping on.
Yeah.
All right, so continuing with these questions, what keeps you up late at night?
So like I said, there's always so much to do. I have a full-time job that there's always so much to do. Chili Mountain, there's always so much to do, so much to like strategize and content to create. With Sidkitten, the same. So just like always having like a never ending to-do list or things that would help the organization or Sidkitten or something I have to do for work. Like just always having to like do something and being super busy. Like we could always use more help. So just thinking about like what I need to do next. Um, I really like working, as weird as that sounds, like being busy in a project or that type of thing. So just thinking about like what my next moves are, things like that is something that like I like to think about, and like my best thoughts come to me at night. I'm like more of a night owl. So that's really when I'm like thinking about like, oh, I had this great idea, like we should implement it for Chili Mountain, or oh, I forgot to like send this email for work, or things like that. Um, but yeah, I think that's something that like I've had to kind of put a timeline, or not a timeline, a bedtime on myself of like, okay, this is the time you need to step away from work because I can stay up all night.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
I like to wake up and like work out. That's kind of been my routine, because if I don't do that, then I get started with the day and I'm working and I literally don't get up from this chair like all day. So then like my workout just doesn't happen. So I need to like wake up early, work out, then like work all day. That's literally my everyday schedule.
That does sound pretty tough. Okay. So the last question, we'll wrap it up with this one. Do you have a favorite quote for everybody? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Wrong pipe.
Yeah. Yes. So my favorite quote is, so it's kind of my favorite quote just because of like me. I know people won't like it, but my favorite quote is, you have as many hours in a day as Beyonce. So this kind of relates to like my answer of just like there's so much to do all the time. And like Beyonce is just like such an awesome like person, and like has just done amazing projects and spectacles and things like that. So it's like you have as much time in a day as Beyonce. Like you can get whatever you need to get done. You just need to like grind and like get up, slap yourself, like come on, let's do it, like motivation. And I like see where like the some people might not like the quote, because I've like contemplated on this as well. It's like, okay, I do have as much time as Beyonce, but Beyonce has a lot of help. So she's like not out grocery shopping. She doesn't have to like order this like random like whatever. Like she has people to do all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, I have as much time as Beyonce, but I don't have all the help. So it's just kind of for me, like internally, to be like, okay, like grind, try to be like Beyonce, like just get it done type of thing. So it's like more of like a motivational thing where I'm just like, so much to do, or like these goals are so hefty, or like that type of thing. But that really like keeps me going, just like, all right, if Beyonce can do it, so can I. Keep going.
Yeah. I actually really like that one. It is,
Really?
yeah. I mean, I don't think I would like say it to myself and like be like, yeah, it doesn't quite apply as well. But I get the sentiment.
Yeah.
Like all these
But
great people in the world, they have the same 24 hours as you. So just get
exactly.
something done.
Yeah. So it's just like a prolific person. Like, I don't know, you have the same amount of hours in a day as like,
Whoever, someone
yeah.
important.
Yeah. So and like that just like helps motivate me, like, okay, like if Beyonce can like record an album or like whatever, if Elon Musk is like out doing creating these like crazy companies, like I can do this. And like
Yeah.
I said, obviously they have help, they have nannies, they don't need like somebody to like do random orders, or like things come before they like ask for it and like whatever. So it's like it's okay, like take a breath, whatever. But it is just like a motivational thing. Like you have the same amount of time in a day as every other person. Like
Yeah.
you can do it. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Very inspirational to take us out. That was perfect. Sidkitten, thanks so much for joining us as you do every week. Can you tell everybody where they can find you on your social medias?
Thanks, Chillrogg. Yeah, you can find me at It's Me Sidkitten on all social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, twitch.tv/Sidkitten as well. And thanks for having me, Chora. This is a lot of fun. I'm sure you learned some things you didn't know about me, hopefully, from my POV at least. But yeah, this was a lot of fun getting to sit on this side of the interview.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was really insightful. It was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I'm sure our viewers will really enjoy it.
Yeah. So, and then also for me, I'm at Chillrogg everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, not quite as big as Sidkitten. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, other ones that are typical. Oh, and TikTok. But TikTok, I'm at Chillrogg too. I don't have Chillrogg. It's a very long story. But yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And we'll see you next week. Catch you later.